There are two things that are very important when you're talking about the Second Amendment. Number one, if the Second Amendment is ever nullified either by some illegal means or by outright repeal, the rest of the Constitution won't be worth the paper it's written on because there's no one there to enforce it. And number two, any government that wants to withhold the right of its citizens to keep and bear arms is not trying to protect people. It is trying to and accomplishing the subjugation and enslavement of its own citizens. Okay, I'm back again. As you can see, school has started. I haven't got a whole lot done this summer as far as keeping up with YouTube. It's just been one busy, hectic summer. I do have the new setup here. Even got a microphone now. So hopefully you can hear me better. But a lot of stuff I've gotten behind on. I wanted to get the socialism thing done. Did not get the socialism thing done yet. The red flag, there's currently a bill trying to make its way through Congress that's going to be some kind of red flag law. Donald Trump, President Trump, has already suggested that he may, in fact, sign it. So this could be a huge and significant disaster for liberty lovers everywhere. And I'll go into that. The problem with red flag laws as they are written is there's no due process. Anybody can accuse anybody else of being cuckoo, and they take your guns first, and then you have to go to court to prove that you're innocent. Okay, that's not how that's supposed to work. You're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. Red flag laws are trying to make you guilty until you prove your innocence. That's first off. Second off, even after you've proved your innocence, if it's possible to do that, they don't necessarily give you back your property. So, I've done some research. Not only do these red flag laws violate the Second Amendment, but also the Fourth Amendment, Fifth Amendment, Sixth Amendment, Ninth Amendment, and 10th Amendments. That's a lot of the Bill of Rights there to be violating. I mean, it could take years and years and years to wind its way through the Supreme Court. And let's face it, that's what the Democrats are hoping, because they've already threatened the Supreme Court. They basically said, if you continue to abide by the Constitution, we're going to reorganize the court and put some more activist justices on there to give us a unbreakable majority of anti-Constitution activist judges. And they sent this in a letter to the Supreme Court. Basically what they said. They're threatening the Supreme Court for upholding the Constitution of the United States. That's getting pretty bad. But anyway, to put it in layman's terms, I'm a teacher. So let's say that I'm a teacher and, I got a hunting rifle and a shotgun around, and they're all locked in a gun cabinet, which, by the way, interestingly enough, they haven't tried to escape. During hunting season last year, I actually left the shotgun out for a brief period of time. And it never went on a killing spree. It just sat in the corner. I watched it every day. I went and checked. It was still sitting in the corner. Like I say, they haven't tried to escape my gun cabinet yet. But so I'm a school teacher. I have a hunting rifle and a shotgun. Well, let's say that one of my students failed to study for a test. And as a result, took the test and failed the test. And it brought his grade down to a subpar average. By the way, that has happened in my classroom before. The parents get all torqued off because little Johnny's failing my class. So here's the deal. Little Johnny's failing my class. They go to my administrator, and the administrator comes to me and says they've been complaining that little Johnny's failing. I said, well, tell them to have little Johnny actually study for the test so he can pass it. And hey, while he's at it, maybe he should turn in his homework too. That'd help. Well, the parents don't like that idea. And so they call up the county sheriff and they say, hey, this teacher's a loose cannon. You can't trust him with guns. Boom. Next thing I know, I'm getting a knock on my door and I'm getting thrown down on by armed federal officers coming in, trashing my house and taking my guns. Do I have any legal recourse? No. That's the problem with this law. You don't have any safeguards. And by the way, yes, I have had parents of students who refuse to study in my class come and complain because their student is failing, their child is failing, and yeah, that happens, and they get all bent out of shape at me as opposed to trying to get little Timmy to study. I'll probably get into more of that some other day, but for right now, just remember that the red flag laws are not there to protect your safety. They're there to disarm you. By the way, guess what happens after the cops leave with your firearms? Yeah, the bad guys who've been waiting in the wings are saying, well, hey, they can't defend themselves now. We can go in there and help ourselves to whatever's left over. Computers, TVs, stereos, whatever. Yeah, it's not like you're going to fight back. So they leave you in a very bad situation. They really do. And this is going to take, like I say, several installments on the Second Amendment. And I'm going to get to the socialist, how socialism works. That too is going to take several installments because how socialism works is not something you can throw out there in 5 or 10 minutes. It's a little more involved in that, and most people haven't actually read Karl Marx or Adam Smith. And if you really want to understand the basic difference between socialism and capitalism, you really do have to read what those two authors wrote. It's really important. So we're going to talk about that down the road. But until next time, this is John Robinson from Flyover Country. And hey, if you like what you see, hit the subscribe button and the like button. And I will catch you hopefully next week.